So we grew and moved down close to Highland Park Way, the road that goes up to South Seattle Community College. There's a building cut into the hill there, and we built a 30,000 from 7,000 to 30,000 square foot building, and continued to grow and had to add another 30,000 square feet onto the building. So we did that. In doing that, we had to cut into the hill a little bit, and so that hill is made out of clay. And you know, when it rains in Seattle, you know, clay and water make mud. So down the hill came on top of half of the building and pushed in some walls and so forth. We had grown to be about 100 people then. And the contractors came in. They were repairing some of the walls, had to shut the water off and the electricity to do their work. And we were careless over the weekend in our paint booth, and a fire ensued. I remember this because I woke up to my clock radio at Pacific Lutheran University to the West Seattle fire story. 96% of the building was burned down. You can imagine what the employees must have thought when they showed up Monday morning. But my granddad gathered them around. By the way, my granddad's name is Harcourt George Renning, or Harky. Harky gathered everyone around and said, hey, I want you to get some rain slickers up on top of the hill at the Kmart and some boots. I'll get the hard hats. We're going to get this place cleaned up. And that's exactly what they did. They didn't miss a delivery. They were a little late, but they didn't miss a delivery to their customers. We saved 100 jobs. And this is one of the things that I think is important along my story, is that there's pieces in this story that talk about how you build loyalty, build a company, stay in business. And this is one of the things my granddad would never, of course, obviously never forget, and he was dedicated to those people. And those people were thankful to him for doing what he did to stay in business. At that time, my granddad, when he worked at Boeing, he was part of a union. In fact, he was a union steward. And he knew what it was like to try and put bread on the table, try and pay medical bills, and everything that goes along with a family. So when the company grew to that age, he started the benefits, not only medical and dental and life insurance, but Bruce helped him put together a profit sharing plan so the employees could put a little bit of money away for retirement. What was important about that was that in the 1980s, we had a chance to buy out the partners that owned the other 50% of our company, silent partners, so to speak. And the employees took their profit-sharing money, all of the money they had in their retirement plan, and invested in the company and became 20% owners. And they eventually became 30% owners until the year 2000. Now, my granddad started this business at 55 years old. Year 2000, he was 88. 87, 88 years old. Because of that loyalty that the employees had always shown him, he had told them, one day I want you to own the business. One day you guys are going to own the business. On and on and on. And finally in the year 2000, he made that happen. He didn't want, coming from the Depression, he did not want them to take out a loan. But that was impossible. How do you buy essentially a company that has $50 million in sales and you can't give it away? The IRS is not going to allow that. So he sold it to the employees for the lowest possible price that the IRS would accept. And then at Christmas that year, he and his wife wrote out personal checks to every one of the employees in that company for $1,000. But not $1,000 per person, $1,000 for every year the employees had served the business. $2.6 million was distributed to our employees that Christmas as a thank you. Thank you for your loyalty. And so it's one of the things I'm most proud of about the things that my granddad did, is that he did give back to the people. And since the year 2000, we have been a 100% employee-owned business. But my granddad also asked me, what are you going to do to sustain this business and run it the way that it's always been run? And he might say, keep the faith. In the 90s, I asked our employees, what are the things that have made the company successful? and I got hundreds of answers. And I grouped them into piles. And we came up with our value statement in which Red Dot lives by. And there's 6 things. 1, communication. It's not communicating and talking, it's listening. It's respecting other people's opinion. It's building teamwork through communication. 2nd is sustaining a can-do attitude, meaning being positive and finding the how, not the if, but the how can we get things accomplished and help one another. Being positive coming to work with a negative person is probably one of the worst things in the job. You want to have positive people around you. Ownership, not owning the business, but owning your commitments, your promises to people inside and outside the business, all the stakeholders in the business, owning those promises. Embracing customers' expectations. Well, customers sometimes aren't the easiest people to work with. They have expectations that, aren't reasonable. Well, we're all customers at one point in time. We've got to embrace those expectations and try to find a way to follow through. And lastly, investing in our people. That's probably one of the key components to Red Dot, is investing back in the people. And isn't investing just money? It's investing time. It's investing a part of yourself to mentor, train, encourage, and inspire employees to advance their career, stay with the business, and do all that they can do to be successful.